Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher and we're in lesson 8. We're working on shape G. Now, one thing I just want to remind you is that I taped these videos as I was designing this bag. So things change. As in the first shape A, there were a lot of stitches that I then later tore out, things that I thought were going to work and then they didn't work. I ended up tearing out a lot of stitches. There were some shapes where I would work on the one shape and then I would think, well, I think I'm done for now. And then I would work on the next shape only to go back to the previous shape and work some more on it. That also happened with shape A. Shape A was sort of the beginning. I was still kind of finding my feet. I was trying to figure things out as I went. So there was a lot of revision going on as I did that shape, much less so as I continued on. In lesson 8, I changed some of the wool shape. I actually removed them and reconfigured them, adjusted my pattern and templates, and then whip stitched them back. So you'll see that in this lesson. Just remember that these videos were very much a part of the process, a part of the design process. And I was figuring things out as I went, trying different things. Don't forget to hit that like button, click on the subscribe button if you haven't already, and tell me how it's going. These videos are only available to those who've purchased the design, but it still helps me if you click on the like button and comment, because it helps YouTube see that people are engaging in the videos and they like that. Grab your panel 2 and the materials you need for this shape and let's get stitching. Okay, so I've had to redo some of this. I took the pieces that I had originally designed away and I made some smaller. I didn't like the proportion, so I'm going to whip stitch these down. I'm going to go ahead. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm doing my running stitch, and in the directions are going to say to do the running stitch on all 4. Obviously, I didn't do that with these because you've seen me. I did them piecemeal. And that's the nature of designing. You know, I'm filming as I design, so this is not going to be the way the instructions are. The instructions are going to be done in a much more logical way. Designing doesn't follow logic. Designing is anything but logical. So, I take stuff out, I redo it, I change it up, I add stuff, whatever. It is what it is. So, for the ladder stitch, I'm using my silk and pearl evergreens and a 24 chenille. I'm coming up and then I'm going to make a little X over, I did a chalk line inside of my circle. So this is a 1-inch circle within this circle. I do a horizontal line across here, so that I have it's like a little X that gets created. I'm then going to come up opposite here and take a little stitch here, going across. That forms my first rung. I leave a little slack in it because this rung is going to get pulled down a little bit. So I'm going to go underneath here, and then I come down for my next rung, which is here. I come up through this X right there. I'm going to pull that across. And I'm going to go through this X here. I'm going to leave a little bit of space there, a little slackness, and I'm going to come down for my next rung. I go through this X here. I go through this X here. I leave a little slack. I come down and there's my next rung here. I'm going to do this around the entire circle. What I get is I get this little braid here, and I get another one over here. All right, with the lavenders, I'm going to do spokes. So 7 or 8 spokes. I have to figure that out. Okay, so I forgot to turn this on, but I marked my 8 spokes on the outside, and then I did, starting from the center, I did my pistol stitches doing 3 wraps. So that's that. Now, I might just tack this down here, just because I don't want it to flop around. So I'm just couching it with one little stitch on the inside of this ladder stitch. Okay, I'm going to do 2 French knots, 3 wrap French knots within each of these segments. Well, we made it through shape G of our lesson 8, and we are now ready to move on to shape H, which will be our next lesson. Until then, here's to stitching together.